I get that broken front loader. We're going to attempt to repair it and see if it works. So in the last Betamax video I did the other day with the ED Beta, I had robbed the cassette loader that was broken out of this machine, which is an SL330. So what I was thinking was maybe I can remove the basket and we can repair the pins. Let's try something. Gotta try something, right? So there's the side piece off, and take out the gear, take out this gear. I'm gonna remove the front basket itself to try to repair it. And what I'm thinking is, if I can put, I'm thinking heat shrink over top of the original pin and then fill it with epoxy. Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking, is to put some heat shrink tubing over the broken portion of the pin that's right here. You can see it. I gotta take the basket out to do that. So I think the easiest way to do that is just to release the catches on the top here to lift one side off. Well, the basket will just drop out anyway, but we'll just lift this. There we go. Okay, now they've got the side loose. I can lift the basket out and show you guys where it's broken. Just set that over there. What's broken on here is these pins that stick out here. That side is broken, and also this one here is broken. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is clean the grease off first of all. I'm going to get some heat shrink tubing, put a piece of heat shrink tubing on top of this, and then we'll fill it with epoxy. So I got some heat shrink tubing. I'm thinking if I push some heat shrink tubing over this, and then, you know, give it that extra 1/4 inch or so that it needs, and we'll shrink this tubing down so that it has a nice tight fit, and then maybe fill it with epoxy before I shrink it. That might be the better idea. So we'll make the tab, give it that extra 1/4 inch. I'm going to mix up some epoxy. We're going to shove some epoxy in here, let the epoxy set up, and then throw the heat gun on and shrink it down. And that, I'm hoping, might fix this thing. We used to fix these, not this particular one, but the other basket for the 711B. This is a B3 chassis, 711B2. This was hollow, and you could actually drive a small screw into it. But this one's got a metal pin. See, they tried to make it stronger by putting a metal pin, but the metal pin should have come up further. Good, use the good old Windows printer test page for when I was installing a new printer. Not a lot of this stuff left here. Getting kind of low. But we'll mix some up. Something like that. I'll mix this thoroughly. I'm going to put it into, I'll pull this off of here first. I'm going to put it into the piece of heat shrink tubing and then stuff it on so that it can bond completely with the plastic pin. I mean, I probably won't even have to heat shrink it, but I will, just to make it adhere even better. So it's solid. Okay, epoxy's all set up now. It's solid as a rock. Let's put this thing back together. So we're removing all the gears off of this thing to get it back together. Gonna pop out the this loading arm. I might be able to leave this one in place. That goes in like that, and it is over this arm on this side. We'll snap the other arm in on the other side. Like that, and it should slide in like this, which it does. Alright, I got the basket snapped back together. I think it's in place properly now. And if I turn, what am I missing? This gear's got to go in here. I gotta time this one. I got the alignment holes lined up there. This one here should go in like that. I think there's an alignment, a hole over on the side here. Oh, it's down here. A hole down here, and there's a hole in the gear at the bottom. We just turn that so that that lines up with that, and that should make this part work. So the had to pop this side off again, but the latch goes in here, and this plastic piece sits down here. It's a spring. It goes down into there. That's where that goes. Now I got to put this piece back on again. And that piece goes in just like this. Line up the alignment holes. Now off by one tooth, it looks like. Gonna go up one more tooth. Like that. Now the hole is lined up. And I can put this other gear back in place, and this gear goes in place with its own alignment hole down here. That drops in like that. And then I can put the side cover back on. Well, once again, line up all the little plastic tabs here and snap it down. Like that. Okay, that's snapped in place. Now I should be able to put this back into the unit itself. Put this door back on. Let's reinstall the front loader and see if it works. Keeping my fingers crossed this is going to work. Okay, now to reattach the wires. Alright, got the loading motor reconnected. Now it's time to try it out and see if it works. Power the unit up. Is it going to work? It's sticking. Not going to work. It's sticking. I'll have to work on that. Oh, you know what? The gear's cracked here too. That's why it's slipping. That's another problem. Now we've got our shrunk plastic problem again. You see here the collar here that goes on the motor just freewheels. It doesn't have enough torque to lower it down, so that will have to probably be glued as well. That's quite a common problem with all these mechanisms that use these plastic over metal, is that the plastic shrinks and cracks, and once it cracks it'll slip. So we can glue it in place. That usually will work, you know, to keep it running. Mechanism wise, it seems to be loading. If I push it manually, put the tape in for example, and push it in manually, I can turn it by hand and the tape will drop, as you can see here. If I turn it by hand, the cassette drops down in the elevator. I'll remove the motor and we'll put some epoxy on and glue that piece back on as well. See if that will solve my issues. And you can see the crack. If we look on here, you can see the crack right there. And this just slips freely, and it shouldn't. Put some epoxy around here. We're going to glue these two pieces together, and I'm going to let it set up and then see what happens after it sets up. She's sticking a bit still. Have to work on that. Maybe once I get it worked through a few times, it'll free up. It's still sticking a bit going down, and sticking a bit coming up. But I think maybe if I work this enough, and maybe put some grease on here, it might get a little bit better. It's just sticking a little bit. Probably sticking because the heat shrink tubing that I put over top of the broken pieces increases its diameter slightly, and they're sticking a little bit. So I'm going to throw some grease around here, see if it'll free it up at all. I think this might be where it's sticking, is right on these. Well, that didn't work out because you see the heat shrink tubing that I filled with epoxy, it still had too much flex, and what happened was just the torque of loading and unloading the tape actually broke the epoxy, and the epoxy came right out. So that won't do it. So I guess what I'm going to have to try and do is try and find another bracket. I don't think I'm going to have much luck. This machine will probably just be delegated as a parts machine now, like all the other older ones. This one can be used to keep other things running, keep other machines running, because I do have other beta machines that use this particular transport. And there's no point in wasting a whole bunch of time on a basic mono machine. We know what's wrong with it. It needs a front loading assembly. I can't think of any other way to try to repair this thing. It's just, this is the high torque area, right? You can see on this side, this one didn't break, but it will, if I flex it, it probably will come apart. The epoxy will come out of it. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one as it is and just put this into my parts collection. Again, it's not a high, I didn't pay anything for it. It was a machine that was given to me, and it's one that'll just be now saved for parts to keep the other ones running, because it's a fully functional machine with the exception of the front loader. So I think I'm going to just write this one off, unless someone has a front loader they want to send me, and get this one working. But again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, because it's not a hi-fi machine. It's a super beta machine, but it's not a hi-fi machine. so it doesn't have a lot of value. I just sold a mono machine yesterday. I sold my SL2500, the one that the clock was no good on, that I modded with a separate switch. So that one's gone to a new home where it will be enjoyed. It's gone up north where it'll be enjoyed for doing tape transfers or playing back old beta tapes. So we're keeping these old beta machines going as best we can with the unavailable parts. So this one goes into the storage unit for parts, and we'll catch you in the next one. It was worth a try, but not successful at this point. That doesn't mean I won't revisit this again if I come across another machine that something else is wrong with and the front loader works. This one may end up getting a new front loader as well. This part's been repaired, but the arm, or the pins on here that are broken, are, yeah, it's a lost cause. Anyway, thanks for watching.